Well, hello, welcome to I Love Gay today. And this is a second part of our special edition where we're doing a series with Cinequest, the film festival out of San Jose, California, starting next month. And so we're featuring a few of the filmmakers and artists that have put together quite an array of talent that folks are going to see. And today we're here with Jon Crawford. How are you, Jon?
I'm good. I'm excited to be here. I'm glad to be on the podcast. I'm a frequent listener, so it's kind of like a moment for me. I've made it, so thank you.
No, I've enjoyed because you and I have chatted before,
Yeah.
and what I've enjoyed is just seeing that that you've been able to bring this project you've been working on. It's called Tell Me a Memory, and it's just you've collected these various short stories from the LGBT community in Memphis, Tennessee, and you kind of brought those to light. And so, yeah, just tell us a little bit about that.
Absolutely, yeah. So it's a fun title because my very first short film, really for the most part, my very first short film I made at UCLA was called Tell Me a Memory. And
Okay.
played at Frameline. It was a narrative film that I wrote, and it was my first like piece where I was out. And I'm like, I'm going to tell a gay story, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then fast forward, I got a residency at Crosstown Arts in Memphis. It was one of their first residencies there, and it's a fantastic organization. If anybody's interested in looking for residencies, they give you a studio and an apartment and meals, and you get to just do your work for 3 months. So while I was there, growing up in Little Rock, I had gone to Memphis quite a bit, and I thought, it'd be really powerful just to hear people from our community share their own story and just give them a platform, kind of get out of the way and just collect portraits. I had this idea that I'd make this like micro budget narrative hybrid feature
Yeah.
where I'd write this script and it would be fun and interesting, and I'd cast local actors. And I did make one short out of that, and it's called Taffy, and that played. I think we initially met with an
Yeah.
Outfest short called Taffy,
Yeah.
and so that was derived from this project. And so Taffy stars Curtis Jackson, who's one of the people I interview in the Tell Me a Memory series. And so the Tell Me a Memory series is 13 different interviews
Okay.
with single people and couples and talking through their relationships or their life journeys. And I really just wanted to kind of stay out of the way and have them tell their own story and celebrate that. And I had always kind of been surrounded by the same types of people. Like as a gay man, I have many gay male friends of a certain age, and part of my goal with this was just to show how uh, diverse our group is in the queer
Yeah. Yeah.
community, and have different generations and different types of identities interacting in the same place without scripting anything for them and just letting them speak and tell their own story. So that was the goal, and Tell Me a Memory is kind of the feature film that came from that.
I love that. And in fact, for anybody that's watching, we're going to have the trailer so you can kind of get a sense of some of these stories at the end of this interview. And
Thank you.
but you've got a quite a background though. As I was kind of perusing through some of the other work you've done, including the show that I recently watched and found myself caught up in the web of the Invisible Plot on HBO. But yeah, that was you guys did an amazing job with that.
Thank you. Yeah, that was my good friend Craig Hodges started following this story when he was in the sixth grade, and so it's
Yeah.
taken us a while to get it
Yeah.
on television. We had so many great partners with that, and it was really a wonderful process and experience. And all the credit should go to Craig Hodges, who was following that for such a long time and documenting so many different pieces of storytelling for us. But yeah, it
Yeah.
was a lot of fun. Thanks for watching it. We really
Yeah.
appreciate it.
No, it was interesting. I connecting those dots. I was like, oh, now it just puts a whole different way of looking at you here.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's different than the Tell Me Memory series, right? It's kind of a fun way to have made a career. Is
Yeah.
well, I still feel like I'm an emerging filmmaker. That's what I apply for grants for emerging filmmakers. Like I still feel like I'm an emerging filmmaker in that, it's just taken so long to kind of get to a place where I get to tell stories.
Yeah.
And luckily, because of festivals like Cinequest and Frameline and Outfest and all these other festivals, I was able to make a lot of shorts and meet a lot of people, and
Yeah.
that was some of the ways that I've been successful, is just meeting people at film festivals like Cinequest, or
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think I met one of the producers of Invisible Pilot through I think the Sonoma Film Festival. So it's like there's always these connections, and
Yeah.
that's one of the best things is how how much fellowship comes from these
Yeah.
festivals.
But then you have this day job and you work at Google as well. Are you able to translate some of this talent over there?
Well, what I like about Google is it's I work on the people dev studio team, so we make a lot of people-centered educational content.
Yeah.
And because I had a PBS background prior to that job, I worked on a PBS show about geology, about rocks. Like I made stories about rocks. And so for me, it's always the stories behind. It's always the people behind the technology or behind the minerals, and it's the culture that comes from those. So yeah, similarly, I think that Google gives me that opportunity to help tell stories that are engaging and hopefully empathetic, and people can learn something from other people's lives and narratives.
It's almost like the nature of the world we're in today with like how you and I connect on LinkedIn or
Yeah.
what other people do. It's just, there's a whole different way of being able to share and engage and connect on these stories.
Totally.
Yeah.
And it's been really fun because when I started, I made my very first documentary. I was still closeted. I was in undergrad. I was 22.
Yeah.
And I bought a camera for like $400 and I documented these two gay men in Conway, Arkansas during Governor Huckabee's time as governor.
Yeah.
And I made it for like $400, but it got into a couple of festivals and I got the Stonewall Award. And as a closeted guy, it was a safe way for me to like witness other gay men living their truth and living their life. And just like the political that is personal, right? Like these people are just living their lives, but it's such a personal and political story that for me, that's where I started really getting engaged in local politics and regional politics, and the impact of just living your truth and being out can be such a form of activism.
I think this is very cool. And so mostly I'm just glad that you're able to take a few moments to share a bit, not only of the film you have coming up, but your story as well.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And thanks for doing this. I'm always super excited to see you pop up on all the social medias, and I always click on your videos. So it's nice. I'm going to click on my own video now.
I love it. Well, I hope you all enjoy Cinequest next month, and look forward to connecting with you soon.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
All right. Take care now.
On camera.
If you guys don't know about Memphis, Memphis is the biggest small town in America. Everybody knows you.
So, you want that story?
Yes, I hear the whole How You Met story.
All right.
There's like two people next to your mama and her prayer warrior.
I'll say this much, my mother loves him.